infection. So this slide shows that clinical features and pathology. The infection may be asymptomatic, that means without symptoms, or it may exhibit amoebic dysentery or extraintestinal amoebiasis in the liver, brain, spleen, and lungs. The amoebic dysentery, it occurs when Entamoeba histolytica trophozoites, they invade the wall of large intestine and multiply in the submucosa. So there it forms the large flask-shaped ulcers. The amoeba ingests red blood cells from damaged capillaries. The symptoms of amoebic dysentery are bloody diarrhea with mucus, weight loss, fatigue, flatulence, abdominal discomfort. So next is amoebic liver abscesses. Abscesses means swelling of tissue. Occasionally, amoeba is carried to the liver in the portal of circulation and forum abscesses usually in the right form. The symptom of amoebic liver abscesses include pain and tenderness over the liver, wasting and fever with chill and night sweats. Patient with large or multiple abscesses may become jaundic or anemic. Next is prevention and control. So first one is proper cooking of food and vegetable. So proper cooking of food and vegetable is required to kill all the parasites. Number two, hand washing after defecation and before eating. So we must hand wash before and after eating. Next is safe water supply. If you feel there are chances of mixing of sewage water with the drinking water, then you should use the different treatments such as boiling, filtration. So chemical treatment can also be done. Fourth one is control of vectors. So common household fly or some other insects, if they are present at home, they must be kept under control by using the insecticides. The use of night soil as a fertilizer should be avoided, and proper sanitary disposal of feces should be done. The treatment of infected individuals and health education should be proper. Means we must educate the people how to prevent and control these parasites. Next is laboratory diagnosis. So first step in laboratory diagnosis is collection of sample. So in case of amoebic infection, so fresh dysentery feces or stool should be taken. So in case of hepatic amoeboisis, aspirated pus from liver or a liver biopsy sample can be taken for examination. The stool sample can be examined for macroscopic examination and microscopic examination. The macroscopic examination, it is mainly based on visual parameters. So in case of amoebic dysentery, the samples appear to be dark brown with offensive smell, semi-fluid acidic stool with mucus. In microscopic examination, the sample is generally observed by making the slide under the microscope. For that, we can go for direct saline or iodine smear preparation, or secondly, we can also go for zinc sulfate flotation or centrifugal flotation method. The second method is used when there are very less number of cysts or trophozoites are present in the stool sample. So we can concentrate spore by using these techniques, zinc sulfate flotation technique or centrifugal flotation technique. In the microscopic view, the cysts appear circular, and the trophozoites, they are in elongated form. So from their morphology, we can confirm that these are cysts or trophozoite of Entamoeba histolytica. If no trophozoite or cyst is seen in the slide, so then we can even go for cultural examinations. So in this case, the stool sample is plated onto the culture media. So then the plate is incubated. So after 48 hours or 72 hours, then we observe for the presence of anti-amoeba histolytica. So now we will discuss the important diagnostic differences between amoebic dysentery and bacillary dysentery. So first one is odor. So in case of amoebic dysentery, the odor is offensive, whereas in case of bacillary dysentery, it is odorless. Color of the blood. So the blood which appear in stool, that is dark in red, whereas in bacillary dysentery, that is in bright, the color is bright red. Exudate. Few pus cells they appear in amoebic dysentery, whereas in case of bacillary dysentery, many pus cells they appear. So presence of anti-amoeba histolytica. So in amoebic dysentery it is present, in bacillary it is absent. So next is consistency of stool. So the stool in case of amoebic dysentery, it is adherent. The mucus is adherent to the container in which the sample is taken. While in case of bacillary dysentery, it is non-adherent. And in the last, we will discuss about the treatment. So a number of different medicines they are available for treatment of anti-amoeba histolytica. Uh, these are metronidazole, idoquinol, tinidazole, nitromidazole, etc.